Okay, so now that we're done with that, we're moving on to the base a little bit, just because I don't want to touch the miniature too much. It's got a lot of layers on it. Now this color here that I'm putting on these larger slate looking rocks is an excellent color for slate. It is called Gray Blue by Model Color, and I'm just going to simply paint the larger rocks this color. These larger rocks actually are slate. They're all over the ground here where I live, in large and small pieces, and they're pretty easy to break apart into, you know, relatively what you want with a pair of pliers, or if they're really big, with a hammer. But I used to sculpt these rocks until I just kind of went, what the hell am I doing? And so basically we're going to paint these rocks that color, and some of the more medium-sized rocks that are just from, you know, playground sand from the local you know, beach here. We're going to just paint a few of these random little rocks this color. Okay, I don't do this kind of thing all the time. I'm kind of going off on the basing a little bit, but I just want to, you know, just give you some more options to play with, you know, when you're painting a miniature, particularly when you're pre-basing a miniature. That is, priming the miniature, basing it prior to finishing painting it. That's just what I call it. I call it pre-base, when you glue rocks on and then paint the rocks. The other way, where you put on some woodland scenic stuff or some of the, you know, other stuff from various game companies, I call that flocking the miniature, you know, because you just put your white glue down and then you dip it in there and you're done, usually after the miniature is completely done painting. Okay, another color that I'm going to use is Games Workshop Bleached Bone. Okay, I'm going to take this color and I'm going to just randomly paint some more of these little rocks. Now we're going to stain these rocks, and when I do, it's going to bring more of the blue and the grays and this bone color. It's going to bring them more together, make them look like they're in the same spectrum, the same, you know, not quite so contrasting as they are right now, because it does kind of look a little funny at this point. But we're going to hit it with a blackish brown stain. It's going to make everything look dirty, more earthy. And then we're going to put all kinds of you know, other little extras on there, plants and stuff like that. It's one of the reasons why I kind of chose a bigger base. For one, these guys don't really fit that well on a regular base. You kind of have to cut up their little base that they come on, you know, and to get them to fit on a normal base. So that is that. While though that's drying, since that went so quickly, let's just jump right into the highlighting of the metal. Okay, first thing we're going to do is highlight it with Games Workshop Bolt Gun. Okay, I'm going to dip my brush into some water and make a nice thin spot here in the cap. You know, there's a little spot right there now that I know is thinner than the rest of the paint in the bottle or the cap or whatever. And I'm just going to hit, you know, the edges of this armor with this color. Try to go a little jagged like this, you know, It makes it look more natural. Now these large pits that I've filed into there, you don't want to get them inside of those pits. You want to leave the stain in those pits. It makes the cuts look more dramatic. Now on the armor, the spikes are so small, I'm just kind of gliding over the top of them. Okay, and then I would outline. Be careful not to get it in your nice crack, you know, the separating the two armor pieces, you know, where you have the nice line of black stain. Okay, and then the spikes on the shoulders and the shield, I'll kind of go more down the edges of these square spikes like so. Okay, and there's a big gash in that one, so I'll try not to fill it with this highlight color. Okay, and again, right along the edge of the shield, kind of make it look a little jagged. Makes it look a little more natural rather than, you know, just putting a straight line the way you would like if you were outlining a space marine or something like that. You know, kind of feather it in there a little so it looks, you know, like it's been tore up, like it's just, you know, been thrown around and been in a lot of battles and, you know, owned by an orc. Just treat it like complete crap. Maybe put a little spot there in the middle where it's been rubbed recently, you know. And so I'll finish up this step and we'll go to the next one.